So we reacted to Legal Mindset's original video, breaking down his thoughts and opinions on how Hassan Denims and co were. There's now been an update again. This just dropped today in the past 24 hours, where Hassan is apparently freaking the out over this lawyer's opinion, and so another lawyer is going to weigh in on Hassan's opinion and fact check everything, which by the way, screaming misogyny and racism in court isn't really going to work unless you're courting public opinion, which is what every lying motherfucker does on the internet, where they say, I could go to the police, but I'm gonna go to Twitter instead. Why do you think these people go to Twitter instead of going to the police first? It's because they know they're full of shit. And even if they call in a false allegation, women don't get punished for that shit. Especially in Travis County. Are you crazy? They don't get punished for that shit, and you ain't gonna find out the results for 2.5 years, which means these people get away for 2.5 years of fucking up your life for nothing. So, this is why people call racism, misogyny, transphobic, homophobic, neo-Nazi, abuser. That's why they all scream it on Twitter, but they don't want that shit going into a courtroom because this shit and those don't give a shit about your feelings. Twitter logic don't work in the real world, jackass. I would love for any of you guys to go preach your extreme leftist values in a Walmart at 4 a.m. and try not to get shot, because that'll happen by good old Keith and Bucky, the rednecks, walking around there with their sister and stepwife at the same fucking time. Girl crying equals 100% innocent? Yeah, I know, right? Holy fucking insane intro. Can somebody make that for me?
Hassan Piker is
Hassan Piker! Sorry.
crying bias in the Ethan Klein lawsuit, both in the system at large and from law tubers like myself. So we're going to get into that today on the...
Yeah, the only people who are disagreeing with him are biased and are working against him. Yeah, and all the people who are like aren't backing him up is just because they're afraid. Yeah, it's definitely just not because nobody agrees with him, and the reason why these people are against him is because he's fucking wrong. A quick Google search, better yet, ask Grok. Ask Grok what he thinks. I bet not even Grok has Hassan's back. I bet you not even Grok's ass would have Hassan's back, no matter what prompt you put in.
The Legal Mindset, we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is a Fast Facts premiere, giving you the hot and dirty business in a...
By the way, I had a short little conversation with this guy off stream the other day. Wonderful gentleman. Wonderful gentleman. Wonderful gentleman. Very kind. I'm gonna just leave the past in the past. He rubbed me the wrong way in the past because I don't even... Yeah, it was about the Hoyoverse contract in 2022. Do I really care? Not really. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was like the ZZZ Hoyo contract shit. Yeah. I don't care. Yeah, it is what it is. This guy's great. And he does his best to tell the truth and nothing but the truth whenever he can. But obviously, everybody makes a mistake here and there. If you don't remember, it doesn't matter. Yeah, true. Anyways, he's overall pretty unbiased. Yeah, of course. You definitely got to try to be.
Shorter version of...
I didn't know you had beef with Legal Mindset. Oh, no, we didn't. It was literally just... I said something how it was, and then there was this Genshin tuber called Steamed Bun X who like goaded him into a response from Legal Mindset when he poisoned the well, which made Legal Mindset weigh in against me. And his word obviously holds a lot of weight. And then people use that clip to fuck me over. I don't even think Legal Mindset knows that even happened, right? This was like 3 fucking years ago. It doesn't matter.
Packed version. If you've been liking these, let me know below. A lot of you guys are new to the channel as well, so welcome, and I hope you love the coverage. My goal is to be objective, entertaining, and give you education about the law.
Did he respond to your DM? Yeah, he did.
On here. But today we have claims from Hassan that indeed the system and also the lawyers covering it, like myself, are not being objective. So I want to get into...
Are there other law tubers? I have only ever heard of Legal Mindset. Is this guy the Asmongold of like lawyer tubers? Legal Eagle and many others. Legal Eagle's great. Law by Mike, Emily D. Baker, Monkey D. Luffy. Okay, I'll have to check him out.
Some of his arguments here today, both of those, and we of course have clips to back that up. So let's get into the first one here, where he is talking about the lawsuits more at large in the system. Let's hear what Hassan has to say.
All this while snark subreddits and similar harassment just caused another creator to commit suicide. Yeah, I heard about that. The Fox Sanctuary woman.
Yeah, and yet you promote a snark subreddit when you know that Ethan's mental health is fucked up. At least that's what Mike from PA thinks. It is kind of weird how it seems that Hassan's entire is trying to gaslight and abuse Ethan's mindset until he tries to kill himself. And what's crazy is that sounds like random jargon, and why the fuck am I saying that? And then there's literally a screenshot of Mike from PA literally saying that's what his plan is, which is psychotic.
That
right here, he's absolutely having a breakdown. If we keep pushing, the problem will solve itself, which is very obvious, saying that we want to harass Ethan until he commits suicide, which is fucking nuts.
So sad.
I don't know if, and I don't know what the implication here is, whether he's trying to imply that something might happen, but you know, let's continue here. There's a lot of dead air.
The legal complaints are in California.
Yeah, that's not dead air, Legal Eagle. It's called dead brain waves, because Hassan's brain, well, it doesn't really work too well unless he's talking about something as straightforward as, yeah, you know what, I think Hamas and Hezbollah are based 10 toes down. I think they deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, a lot of dead air. He's usually just having CNN on the background and jerking his little boy dick while reacting to that shit. Yeah, it's pretty much all he does. He's not really a commentator, you know what I mean? He just kind of sits there and walks away and leaves his chair there while he pumps in his next dose of testosterone and, you know, makes sure his hair transplant still looks good on the top of his head.
For denims and Frogan. Wait, what do you mean?
So this is another.
Bro, I swear to God, like I like listening to Hassan's voice is like putting your balls in a blender. It is insane. Like watching this 45-year-old man try to talk like he's hip and cool and totally chill and like farm aura is just like, bro, get a fucking grip, dude. Jesus Christ.
Point, which I think is very interesting, is, you know, a lot of people can comment on stuff, but I'm not sure whether he doesn't understand what a legal complaint is, or he doesn't understand how lawsuits work. I'm not really sure what he doesn't understand, but it's always
fucking everything. He doesn't understand shit. I do find it hilarious how a lawyer's like, okay, so how does he not understand anything? Are we noticing that he's not understanding anything? He's 45. Well, technically 46. It was just his birthday.
Always very interesting when people decide to comment deeply on stuff that they really have no idea what's going on.
Oh, by the way, that absolutely is a lie about Hassan, but it drives him insane when you call him 45, so I do it all the time. It's hilarious. And I feel like it's pretty harmless. Is there a way to increase the quality of this video? No, unfortunately, all of Hassan's videos are low quality.
Yeah, call it for what it is. He's abusing the legal system the way stalkers do. No, that's precisely what he's doing. But in this circumstance, because the legal system is fucking busted, because the legal system is fundamentally broken, if you have a lot of money, you can do this kind of thing. When you're depraved and you're manic and you're an insane person and
everybody who's going against me is insane. I'm the normal one, guys. I'm the normal one.
Don't care about like wasting unlimited funds, especially considering that he does technically have virtually unlimited funds. You can be a vexatious litigant.
Let's stop there.
Great. So a lot to unpack here. I'll let him go and then I'll go because I also wanted to let him go.
Pseudo intellectuals like Hassan like to use big words that they don't understand.
Thank you. He's too fucking stupid to talk in layman's, so he uses this big words that nobody fucking understands to appear intelligent when he himself misuses the very same words. It's like EO and car canceling. 2% of you guys will get that reference. He's so fucking dumb. If you can't speak in layman's, it's because you know if your sentences are easy to digest, then people can pick them apart. And if you don't want your sentences picked apart, that's because what you're saying is fraudulent. Holy shit. I love this guy. Jesus. All right. Sorry.
The word vexatious litigant does not just mean someone who files a lot of lawsuits. That is, you know, it's not just that. A vexatious litigant is someone who files lawsuits with no merit, meaning they're going to get immediately dismissed, meaning these are lawsuits with no legal basis. And what you never hear from Hassan is you never hear him talking anything at all about the legal basis. Now, if he wants to argue that the system is broken, that's fine. And in fact, even myself and other law tubers have admitted that yes, parties with a lot of money tend to do better in court. That is very much true.
True.
And we've admitted that.
That's why a lot of individuals don't go against companies, because the companies will almost always win. There's very rare cases because companies can drag out cases for as long as possible if they have an unfavorable outcome by just stalling and stalling and stalling until the other person just runs out of the means to fund their own court cases. It's very fucking scummy. That's why I fucking hate corporations, because at the end of the day, guys, the house always wins. And that's why people say, dude, just sue Twitch. If that were to happen, and I wouldn't, if I were to go in alone, I would need a group of people to all do it at the same fucking time. But is that really going to happen? No, probably not.
Talked about that. And I've been a critic of that when it comes to certain cases like with Walt Disney and the Walt Disney Corporation. That can be a problem. But throwing out words like vexatious litigant kind of goes against the rub here, because you have to admit that it has merit if you can come up with no legal argument against the case. Not an emotional argument, not a claim of bias.
Well, unfortunately, that's all Hassan does. He fights things with emotions and false allegations. That's it. He gets upset, and the more he loses, the more he yells. And the more he loses, the more he tries to slander you. He doesn't have the mental wherewithal in order to actually debate anybody using anything rooted in reality. So he just lives in his own augmented sense of that. And, has the combative skills of a toddler, to be completely honest. However, his chat is willing to back him up on anything he says without a second thought, to where Hassan can still, navigate through these debates with a W, because his chat is so fucking brainless. His words, not mine, that they'll just gobble up any shit that he says because they think they slightly align politically, which is really fucking insane, to where if you think that you just slightly align with somebody politically, that you're willing to bypass all logic and just agree with them just because, well, we both voted for Kamala Harris, so he's got to be a good guy. It's like, what are we doing here?
Not any other claim. You have to tell me, Hassan Piker, why legally they will win. Your orbiters will win.
Yes.
And Ethan Klein will lose. Otherwise, it is a meritorious claim. That's a big word you can use now, meritorious, Hassan. So these are meritorious complaints, which are going to get past a motion to dismiss, which is, just to explain for you, for Hassan and for everybody out there, that's the first step. Now, that does not mean Ethan Klein will ultimately prevail. Ethan Klein may very well lose this case. Now, we've said, hey, doesn't look good for Hassan's orbiters. It's looking kind of bad for Hassan's orbiters. I think, in all fairness, the odds are on Ethan here, but they're never 100%.
Of course.
There's always a chance that your orbiters can prevail, whether individually in individual cases or separately. Maybe
that's why engaging in the law is so fucked up, because here's the reality, guys, and I get told this all the time. The truth doesn't matter. It only matters what you can prove. And that's what is horrifying about today's climate in the court scene, is that even if you didn't do it, even if you never thought about doing it, even if, everybody is so obviously lying, if you can't prove that, nothing matters.
And the others don't, or maybe all of them prevail. It's possible. It's not 0% chance. Ethan is not 100% going to win, but the odds are in his favor. And that's all we've been saying kind of at large, which is very interesting here. But we'll let him talk.
What's even worse is understanding the political climate of where you're at actually affects your courtroom, right? So, like, there are some towns that are far more left. There are some towns that are far more right. And I promise you, a court case handled in Austin would be different in a court case handled in San Antonio. Very different political climates. There are some towns where we say, we believe all women. And there are some towns where we say, well, let's just go ahead and see what the facts are. And it's very scary. Some counties are much more scary than others when dealing with these claims.
A little bit more.
And
I hate the judicial system. Yeah, I know it's awful. Activist judges, yeah.
It's like having a mentally ill stalker who has an unlimited amount of money and power, and not only does he
I like how hard Hassan is trying to paint Ethan as this millionaire tycoon when it's like, Hassan, you live in a $3.4 million mansion in LA. Why are you trying to act like you can't compete with Ethan's funds? Hassan, you probably have more money than Ethan. Why are we even humoring this narrative? This is a multi-millionaire complaining about another multi-millionaire. Like, Jesus, Hassan, your dad is a billionaire. Like, are we acting like your dad would want an easy dunk to get an easy court win? Like, shut the fuck up.
have an unlimited amount of money and power, he also makes
your Sank's nephew, which, by the way, that's probably why your dog left your room, because we all know your uncle wants to fuck your dog. And I'll be real, I don't know why you would even, I can't believe that you're related to that man, Hassan. I can't believe that you chose to be related to a man who likes to fuck animals and wants to legalize bestiality, right? And the fact that you would have a dog while your uncle believes that shit is psychotic, man. And I think you should be ashamed. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, Hassan. I think, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think that dog is safe, to be completely honest. I think that's very fucked up, dude. What's Sank? Yeah, so Hassan's uncle is a newscaster that frequently talks about legalizing bestiality and how he fantasizes about young girls the day that they, become the age of consent, because he likes getting them right when the iron's hot. Yeah, no, very freaky stuff his uncle's done. I can't believe Hassan shows that to be his uncle and his father. Very disgusting. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, Hassan. It really doesn't.
Makes content off of this, so it turns into more money for him down the line. That's it.
Are you sure? Yeah, I am sure, yeah. Yeah, a generational sex pest, man, and Hassan Piker. A generational bestiality lover, man, and Hassan Piker. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
That's what it is. And given the way that our legal system works,
Better yet, you want me to pull it up? Here's Hassan's uncle, by the way. Here we go.
I believe that if I were the benevolent dictator of the world, I would legalize bestiality where you are pleasuring the animal.
Well, now I understand why you owned a golden retriever, Hassan. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Yeah, I can't believe you chose to be related to that guy. Yeah, it's really fucked up, dude. Really fucked up. You should be ashamed for owning a dog, man. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, man.
given the way that our court system works, given the way that copyright works, there's really nothing you can do about it other than
so hold on. Hassan himself himself has just admitted that his orbiters are going to lose. So he's actually admitting, he's saying that's the way copyright works. That's the way copyright works. So he's conceding that legally they're screwed, which means, once again, Hassan is saying it's a meritorious claim. It's not vexatious, Hassan. We're going to teach you big words. You can use them in the right way. I want you to use them right, Hassan. Let's continue here.
Hope that it goes away eventually. Just like cyber stalkers, we do not have an adequate measure against cyber stalking, and just like stalking in general, we don't have.
Let's stop right there. And we're going to stop this clip.
Let's get it.
So there are cyber stalking laws. In fact, many states have cyber stalking laws. Now you can argue they're not robust enough, but to say they don't exist or they're non-existent, that's not true.
Isn't it really scary how different Hassan's stream is when you have someone checking the facts? Is that not fucking psychotic? How we've already had to pause a 3-minute clip 7 times to fact check everything that this guy says. He is the biggest liar on this fucking platform. He projects all of his own insecurities, all of his own malpractices onto other fucking people. And the worst thing is, people gobble it up. Pathetic.
They are indeed existent.
And Twitch defends this guy, by the way.
As intense as Hassan wants them to be, but if you go too far with cyber stalking statutes, they can silence free speech, and they would be a violation of free speech protections. So if you went too far, you're going to push against that. So that's the balance here, Hassan. Now, I think Hassan seem like he leans on the side of silencing free speech, right? And on the side of making cyber stalking really high, but that's a delicate balance. That's a very delicate balance. So that goes to the systemic arguments that Hassan made. But Hassan didn't stop there. And he made these comments, and Nicholas DeOrio, who actually had an amazing stream.
Nicholas eats Oreos. The funniest nickname of all time. Sorry, it's so funny. I actually like Nicholas too, but that nickname is so funny.
Popped into that one. He had some comments about Hassan's thoughts about LawTube, because he's talking about the LawTubers in our coverage. And LawTubers, the general LawTube sphere, people like myself, Ian Runkle, Uncivil Law, a lot of us have commented on this, and pretty much all of us have said, yeah, you know, the claims look like they have a prima facie basis. They look like they're going to get past the motion to dismiss. They're going to get the discovery, right? That's as far as we can say, okay, looks pretty good on that. But none of us have said, hey, Ethan is 100% going to win. It's a shoe. And none of us have come out and said we're pro Ethan Klein. As I've said before, I could care less about Ethan Klein, and I could care less about the orbiters. I care about the law. But let's hear what Ethan has. Let's hear what Hassan has to say about the lawsuit and our coverage.
It's legal. YouTubers and free speech people are extra quiet. No, I think there's some legal YouTubers who have covered it, but they're like pro Ethan. Yeah.
No, they're just telling you the fucking facts of the case. What are you saying?
Yep.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. They're compromised, dude. They're pro.
So the reason why he thinks this is due to the fact that Hassan has so many people who are willing to lie for him just because they're friends, like Denim, Sean DeBroke, Frogan, Mike from PA, Ludwig. I could keep going here. And so he immediately assumes that all these people are on the opposition side because he's used to manipulating his friendships in order to get people to do his bidding. And that's why his own schizo brain, his own paranoia has gone there immediately, because that's what he's done in the past. It doesn't matter what the facts are. It only matters who's got your back and is willing to lie for you. And that's Hassan's whole game plan.
Ethan.
To cover this with me,
Dude, the lawyers are all compromised.
On Israel Palestine, which they are not. It's legal. YouTubers and free speech people are extra quiet.
So this,
yeah, to claim every lawyer is compromised due to bias is fucking psychotic.
This is great. I like Nick's comments.
Ethan isn't suing Shauna was a troll. Yeah, I know.
Just go to it. You know, we are just commenting on the facts. We're commenting on the law, right? If you want to say the law is pro Ethan, all that says that means his side has more legal basis. And I would love to have more legal commentary and have somebody to, you know, spar with and intellectually debate with the law on the other side. If people want to say these legal elements are more pro Denims, Frogan, and now we have Sean the Black coming in, Casey Tron. If anyone wants to bring up legal points, I'll be happy to analyze those and look at those, and I'll be happy to give them a fair, objective consideration. However, emotional arguments, claims of bias, claims that we don't know enough about Israel and Palestine, that has nothing to do with this lawsuit. This lawsuit has nothing to do with any political element. It has to do with copyright. And we're going to keep it educational and objective on this channel. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you on the next.
Here's what I think. I think Hassan is a bald retard. Like, comment, subscribe.